Hey Queens, a topic I just thought of. It's not really like a smiling topic, but y'all know I like to smile. I gotta smile at y'all because a lot of times you could walk past a queen and she wanna be looking you up and down or all that. And I'm not that kind of queen. When y'all winning, I'm winning. Your success, my success. When I see a queen flourishing in her life, having great successes and wins, that's my win. Because I know that if she can do it, I can do it. I know that if she made it past her hurdles and her challenges, it's on the money for me. It's right there. It's coming in. So with that being said, let's get into this conversation today. Ladies, heartbreak, heartbreak, heartbreak hotel. So, we brush up on a lot of topics, but it's a rare time that people really talk about what to do and how to enjoy being single. You know, after you come through like a hurtful relationship sometimes, or you going through a breakup, sometimes it's really easy to lose yourself and forget about the things that are important for you. But I want to encourage you to get a hobby. When you're going through a breakup or you're going through a hard time, get you a new hobby. Start journaling about it. Start reaching out to different help groups because it's very important that you keep yourself intact. You don't want to be somewhere 5 years from now and be like, man, all of these things were available to me, but I didn't access them because of my pride, or I was too hurt to really want to find out what was available for me. So I want to encourage you to talk to someone that you trust, talk to someone that you love when you're going through a heartbreaking situation. And it could be any kind of heartbreaking situation. But for this matter, I mean relationships. Those are things that are so hard when you're going through it to have to deal with. And it can hurt you to the core, hurt your soul real bad. And you don't want to have to deal with that stuff alone because when you bottle it in, it's hard for you to get over it. For me, didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't really want nobody to know what I was going through, and it didn't quite help me. It more kind of hindered me. I was kind of living in a state of shame, and I knew I had nothing to be embarrassed about. I was living in a way that I didn't want nobody to know what was going on because I was so embarrassed within myself, and it held me back from getting so much good information, so many good people that wanted to encourage and love on me, but I was so scared to want to talk to them about my situation. But I'm encouraging my queens that in 2019, we're going to learn how to open up. You don't have to always be a closed book. You don't have to always act like everything is going wrong in your life. Things are going to happen. And when they happen, you don't have to just sit there and deal with it by yourself. Like I always say, I prayed my way out of depression like no other. But also, I felt like God wanted me to have comfort in others, for others to bring me comfort. He could bring me the peace that man like no other. But he sends you good friends to comfort you, to speak good words into you, to encourage you to speak that life. And you don't want to go through that by yourself. You don't want to go through a heartbreaking matter and not have anybody to reach out to because that can lead to depression. And that's not showing yourself self-care and self-love. We are all about building that within ourselves, how to get yourself back to where you used to be in life if you've fallen off, or if you're wanting to attain something, how to get there. And you can't just be a closed off person. You can't smear your nose up and think that people are going to know what's wrong with you. 9 times out of 10, people are going to perceive that for an attitude and not understand that, oh, this person is going through something, or this person don't want to talk about it. It's okay to talk about it. Sometimes you got to put your pride to the side and be able to see, because you never know. You could be holding on to your story and it could have been a blessing to someone else's life. The hurt that you're going through, you could have somebody that could build you up and encourage you, and you pour into them and encourage them. Sis, don't be closed off when you're dealing with heartbreak. And when you want to get out, don't just sit there and sit at home. Get your mind off of it. Sometimes do something new. Go for a walk. Talk to God. Talk to a friend. just use that time to really build yourself back up. Use that time to get yourself back focused, back in gear. If you got to get back in shape, whatever that is going to take for you to get over that situation. And most of the time, we fight ourselves when we're going through that type of stuff. We like, oh well, I don't I don't want to do nothing because of this, or I don't want to do anything because this person hurt me so bad. Meanwhile, that person is living their best life, and you're sitting there at home upset, depressed, eating unnecessarily, being angry, having anxiety and panic attacks. This is 2019. We getting rid of all that nonsense. We're building ourselves back up, loving ourselves back to life. And I mean, that is like my slogan, how to love yourself back to life. And sis, loving yourself is not going to be you just sitting on the couch eating some ice cream. It's going to be you getting up in there and doing your hair a little bit. Even if it's not in a wig or a weave, you're just doing your natural hair. Even if you just call up some of your old friends that you hadn't seen in a while and be like, look, I just need to go out and go shoot some pool. Do that. Don't deal with heartbreak alone. It don't matter if it's a relationship loss or even if you've lost a pet. Those things are important. And when you have an emotional connection to something and it doesn't work out the way that you intended, that can really crush your world. And you don't want to sit alone going through that. And you may think people don't understand or nobody understands what I'm going through. 9 times out of 10, most people do understand what you're going through, but they don't know that you're going through it because you're holding on to it. And it's not going to help you grow. And most of the time, you could really be missing out on something by being closed off. You could be missing out on good friends, good conversation, a good man, a good woman for that matter, if that's what you're into. I mean, you don't want to be somewhere in a state of trauma and never being able to heal from that. Like I said, you could be up for a promotion at a job, but you're going through so much trauma that they overlook you because you're not going to work at your best. You're going to work looking sloppy, doing sloppy work, not caring about yourself. It's very important that you take the time to love yourself. And like I said, and like I always say, love yourself back to life. Nobody is going to stop and say, hey, do you need me to love on you? You're going to have to open up your mouth. You're going to have to love on yourself. You're going to have to sometimes be a little bit like risky with stuff. Not risky in a bad way like you out there doing drugs. No. I mean, take a risk by going to an organization for people that are going through mental health, going to a church and seeing what it's like, going to a new place that you've never been to, going to the mall sometimes and walking around and trying on clothes and looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, yes, girl, you're going to have to start trying them affirmations and believing that they're going to work for you. And like I always say, sis, like, subscribe, and share. There's a lot of queens out there that are holding on to a lot of things, and they don't know what avenue to take. I was one of them. I didn't know who to talk to, why to talk about it, or how important my self-care was to the healing process. You want to be in that healing process and feeling better, sis, you're going to have to come out of that shell and get a little out of your comfort zone. Because the comfort zone is not where there's growth. Most of the time, when you uncomfortable, that's when you growing. You stretching. You not even realizing it, but you in such an uncomfortable place that you have to grow. And comment below. Like I always say, let me know some of the strategies that you've used to heal your heart. Some of the strategies that you use going through a traumatic situation to get yourself out of it. Like, did you journal? Did you start working out? Did you start a dance class? There are so many different things. And I love y'all, and I thank y'all for tuning in. Until we meet again.